Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected U.S. President Trump's sweeping global tariffs. In a 6-3 decision, the court upheld a lower court ruling that the president's use of a 1977 law meant for use in national emergencies exceeded his authority. The court reached its decision in a legal challenge from businesses affected by the tariffs, as well as 12 U.S. states. Trump said he was ashamed of certain members of the court and said he would impose an additional 10% on the global tariffs. The province says the decision doesn't remove all tariffs and is still evaluating the potential impact on provincial trade. Quote, Saskatchewan will continue our efforts to diversify our export markets to countries all over the world and to convince U.S. lawmakers that free and fair trade between Canada and the U.S. benefits businesses and consumers in both countries. Metal detectors have been installed at 3 more Saskatchewan hospitals to help address security concerns. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says metal detectors have been installed at the main entrances of Battleford's Union Hospital, Victoria Hospital in Prince Albert, and the Regina Urgent Care Centre. The Health Authority says everyone entering hospitals with metal detectors will have to declare any restricted items, which will have to be removed from the facility or secured in a designated locker. Restricted items include duffel bags, luggage, or food coolers, and weapons of any kind, including knives and sharp objects. A Prince Albert florist says a sponsored result on Google has used her business name as a keyword without permission. Sentiments Floral co-owner Stacey Coburn says the ad was brought to her attention in December by customers who had ordered from a different store by mistake. She says customers who performed a Google search for Sentiments Floral were shown a sponsored result with Sentiments Floral in the headline, but the link brought customers to a different store's website.
Google has told me that if they had chosen the word sentiments, it would have been the correct spelling of sentiments, because my business name has a unique spelling behind it where we've put a C behind the S for scent.
Burkett's Floral provided a statement saying its business name is visible on the ad and that it doesn't see how a customer on the website with Burkett's Floral name and branding plainly displayed could believe they're ordering from a different business. So, Jeff, Friday it's cold, but we did get the sunshine. What about the rest of the country?
You know what? The rest of the country is actually doing not too badly. The bottom line is that we are, in terms of decent temperatures or circumstances, British Columbia anticipating some rain and some snow, so not great, but it is good news for the ski resorts in British Columbia. So that's a good part of that story. Across the prairies, it continues to be cold. We are going to see a gradual warm up and a bit of a messy situation in the Great Lakes region and ultimately into parts of Atlantic Canada for early next week. So an interesting mix of conditions across the country we'll focus on here at home when we come back.
There was a flag-raising ceremony in Saskatoon today, and it's drawing attention toward human trafficking. Sunday marks the 4th annual Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Dozens of people gathered at Civic Square to raise the flag and raise awareness to the crime often targeting young women. Police reports of human trafficking have increased over the last 10 years, with experts saying the crime still largely goes unreported. The federal government says more than 60% of victims are under 25 years old, with more than 90% being women and girls.
They'll go to the hotels, they'll pick young people or vulnerable people up at bus stops, at motels, restaurants, wherever. We just want people to understand and be aware of that. It is happening right here in Saskatoon.
After a brief ceremony, people in Saskatoon marched to the Parktown Hotel to hear a panel discussion with leading experts. Saskatchewan's advanced education minister and post-secondary representatives are going on a 1-week trade mission to Asia. The contingent of officials from the province, the U of R, U of S, and Sask Poly is heading to the Philippines and Thailand today to work on the province's education, research, and labor goals. It's meant to create new partnership opportunities for Saskatchewan post-secondary institutions. The long-term goal is attracting more talent to the province and making more opportunities for Saskatchewan students to study abroad. The Canada Revenue Agency says taxpayers should have an easier time filing their taxes this year. The agency revamped its operations after a government-ordered service improvement plan that focused on addressing call center delays. The CRA says the website has been streamlined and additional workers have been added to the call center. The 2025 tax filing season begins on Monday and lasts for a little over 9 weeks, ending on April 30th for most taxpayers. Ottawa has updated its travel advice for First Nations people heading to the United States. As of yesterday, the government website has been updated with new guidance, including advising First Nations people to carry a passport in addition to a status card when crossing the U.S. border. Before this week, the government website stated First Nations people could freely enter the U.S. for employment, study, retirement, investing, or immigration. But now the website says acceptance of all status cards is, quote, entirely at the discretion of U.S. officials. The Assembly of First Nations has also warned people to be careful following recent immigration enforcement raids south of the border. A new report is shedding light on traffic enforcement in Saskatoon, including numbers of collisions and tickets handed out. In the annual traffic unit report from Saskatoon Police, 2025 saw a jump of over 10% in traffic collisions, resulting in property damage, with over 4,500 last year. Since 2021, there's been a drop in speeding tickets by more than 50%, but photo speed enforcement violations in school zones went up 400%. By area, the downtown district had the most tickets issued, followed by the North Industrial area. When we return, celebrating a Prince Albert athlete's accomplishments. Jasmine Peltier catches up with Ali Deal, Youth Female Athlete of the Year.
We are with speed swimmer Ali Deal, who won this year's Saskatchewan Youth Female Athlete of the Year, and she also had a national recognition as Swimming Canada's Breakout Swimmer of the Year. So hi, I'm super excited to meet you. That's awesome. And I just want some background on your swimming career. So how old were you when you got started, and were you initially swimming with the Sharks?
I started when I was about 7 years old, and yeah, I've always been with the Sharks since I was 7, and I'm 17 now, so that's about 10 years.
At what point did you start to take speed swimming more seriously?
When I was about 13, when I made my first national championships, so that was definitely the biggest leap, and then just from then to now, yeah.
What's your best stroke?
Breaststroke, 100%.
Why?
I don't know, it seems like it's the funnest, and everyone's genetically better at a certain stroke, and mine is just breaststroke. My mom was also a breaststroker, and so is my dad, and they're both swimmers, so.
What was your least favorite?
Butterfly. I have one arm, so like the balance is a little more difficult, so I still practice it, and I still try to get better at it, because you should try and be better every single day at every stroke, even if you're not good at it. But yeah, it's not at the top of my pole.
You were at the World Championships in Singapore. Was that your first World Championship?
Yes, it was, yeah.
And you were the youngest person on the team, 16 at the time, is that correct? Okay. Was there anything that you were able to learn from the older athletes on your team that, is going to help you out in the future or helped you out at the championships?
Well, just to have fun with the first one, because if you make the first one, there's most likely going to be a second one if you keep working hard and staying in that motivational mindset. So I definitely tried to have fun and just stay in the moment. And everyone was so sweet and genuine, so it was really awesome.
I was reading a little bit about you before. Did you actually shave 2 seconds off your personal best at the World Championship?
Yes, I did. I was going a 123 low, and which I got only a couple weeks before at Canada Games, right after I was injured. And then just a couple weeks later at Worlds, I shaved off 2 seconds and went a 121.02 or 3. So that's a pretty big leap, especially in swimming. It's very hard to even cut off milliseconds.
Yeah. How did you end up pulling that off?
A lot of hard work, especially after Canada Games. I was so worried about my hip strain that I wouldn't be able to swim as good as I had been training for. So yeah, that really helped, and just staying determined and believing in myself.
Were you able to see any of Singapore when you were there, or was it mostly just the competition?
I did see the big trees, the garden. It was beautiful. That was on the last night, and my mom and my auntie and my brother were also with me, but my brother had left, and we went to go see the Universal on the little island. It was super cool. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. What are some of your biggest memories from swimming, I guess, this year?
Definitely in the past years, Worlds, 100%, and meeting so many new people there. And trials when I made the Worlds team with all my friends. So that is definitely like a highlight for me.
What are some of your goals moving forwards? I think like specifically in 2026 and then maybe beyond that?
This year in August, there is Pan Pacific Games in California. So my goal is to get as many events as I can to go swim there to be qualified for. And then later on, of course, LA 28 in LA as well.
If someone doesn't know a lot about para swimming, what would you say to maybe encourage them to check it out or find out more information about the athletes, about the events?
Well, I feel like a lot of people are like difficult to change, especially in the sport like mentality a little. You'll always watch the Olympics, and the people that watch the Olympics won't usually watch the Paralympics because they don't know as much about it. So the Paralympic community is definitely growing, which is amazing, and I can't wait to see how it becomes like in the future years, because just because we're different doesn't mean we're less good and that we don't work as hard, because we do. We have a disability and we're swimming, you know, or any sport in general. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for meeting me here.
Thank you.
We'll get the weekend weather report from Jeff after this short break. And later, Buddies Bound in Blood, a group gives back for almost 30 years. So, Jeff, today was a good day to get your daily dose of vitamin D from the sun, but how much more are we going to see over the weekend into next week?
Well, once again, it depends on where you are, but many places, including Prince Albert and area, are basically dealing with, some cloud, a little bit of cloud cover there. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but out on Canada's west coast, I mentioned it earlier on, some places like Whistler may see between 1 and 3 feet of snow. So if you're looking for snow, if you're planning on, I know a lot of people are coming back from vacation, but if you're planning on doing some skiing, it looks like out on Canada's west coast, it looks like the ski resorts in British Columbia are getting some much needed snow. Across the prairies, we are going to be getting a nice little push of warm Pacific air later in the week. So let's say midweek, and things will warm up a little bit. And it's a bit of a messier situation for Ontario and Quebec. And then as we look at early next week, Atlantic Canada getting hit with another storm. So that's how the national picture is showing up. And then as we take a look at our situation, at least in terms of our pressure gradients, the white lines, they're staying fairly far apart, so not particularly windy, but it doesn't take much wind to make these temperatures feel all that much more painful. And with these kind of temperatures, we can tell you that there are extreme cold warnings in effect for many parts of the province. Minus 28 for Spiritwood overnight, and the same thing for the Battlefords and Candle Lake and Melfort and Rostern. Minus 29 the overnight temperature in Birch Hills, and Nipawin we're looking at minus 26 overnight. So in many of these locations, not just the risk of frostbite, but frostbite in minutes in terms of exposed skin. Minus 17 tomorrow for a daytime high in Spiritwood, the same for Rostern, minus 18 in the Battlefords and Birch Hills, minus 16 in Candle Lake and Nipawin, and minus 19 for Melfort. A mix of sky conditions, but once again, the risk of frostbite is certainly there. Now taking a quick look at Prince Albert and area, minus 29 degrees. Again, frostbite in minutes under partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the northwest at 10, so that minus 29 feeling like it's much closer to minus 40. And then as we take a look at tomorrow, minus 16 degrees. So that's still a good, almost 7 degrees below seasonal. Winds out of the northwest at 20. And here is the 7-day forecast. We've got ourselves minus 19 degrees on Sunday, minus 14 on Monday, back to work Monday, back to school Monday for many people, minus 13 on Tuesday, but then the warm up back to seasonal temperatures on Wednesday, minus 9, and a mild minus 3 degrees on Thursday, and 1 week from today, cloudy skies and minus 11.
And Jeff, I'm sure you're probably not, well, I was going to say tired of sports, as a lot of people have been taking in a lot of their sports. But let's move now to the Canada West Conference, where a pair of Huskies athletic teams are looking to defend their Canada West titles this weekend on the ice and on the basketball court. The women's basketball team is hosting the University of Calgary Dinos in the Canada West semifinal. That'll go Saturday at 7. The Huskies are defending U Sports champions and went 20-0 during the regular season, while the Dinos went 16-4. A win would send the Huskies to the U Sports Final 8 in Quebec City. Before that, the men's hockey team begins a best-of-3 quarterfinal against the University of Alberta Golden Bears tonight. The Huskies beat Alberta both games this season, but the Bears won the last playoff series between the teams in 2024. That game starts tonight at 7. The winner of that series heads to UBC for the Canada West semifinal. The Saskatchewan Rush will try for their 9th win in a row this weekend. The Rush are in Philadelphia on Sunday to face the Wings. After losing to Ottawa on December 12th, the Rush have rattled off 8 straight wins and are first place in the NLL halfway through the season. Saskatchewan is averaging just over 12 goals a game this season, which is tied for first in the league. Sunday's matchup is the first of 3 straight road games for the Rush, which will head to Buffalo and then Rochester next weekend. There will be a rare referee combination in Weyburn Saturday. All 4 officials will share the same last name.
Let's go.
Doug Walter will be joined by sons Brody, Keaton, and Preston for a Weyburn minor hockey game. Doug has been officiating hockey for more than 3 decades, while his sons have different levels of experience in their shorter careers. It's the first game they'll work together as a crew.
I was always hoping that things would come about like this, you know, coaching them hockey and then slowly getting involved in reffing. And now I got everybody's involved in just that true passion for the love of what it really means to be on the ice together.
Working with them and trying to help them grow and trying to pass down what I've learned from my dad and all the other officials I've worked with to try and make them better and make them have a good experience like I have with reffing.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
For nearly 3 decades, a group of Ontario auto workers has deepened their bond by giving back. Chris Campbell has more on the brotherhood forged through blood donations.
700. Yeah.
700. They meet for burgers and beers, then roll up their sleeves. The group called it Self-Blood Burgers and Beers, but it didn't start that way.
When I got into Chrysler's, they offered a program where they would cover us to go donate blood. And so I started donating on my own to go, hey, let's donate together. So we started donating together. We slowly recruited new people, and that's how it started.
Back then, working midnights, they called themselves Blood and Breakfast. Even as shifts changed, clinics closed, and donations took them on the road to Chatham and Kingsville, they kept showing up.
We've been doing it for almost 30 years, which is crazy. I never would have thought it. And it's a good time to socialize and catch up with the guys.
What began as co-workers has become family.
It's just the friendship, right? Like you build this up over all these years. This is family for us because we spend so much time together working in the factory.
There's even a little incentive for first-timers.
To get a new guy in, they got to know that when they come for the first time, they are paying for the lunch. So we know they'll come back for their free lunch.
But beyond the laughs, the impact is serious.
So just at the end of January, that last cold spell, we lost 1,500 donations across the country. So the need is constant.
Canadian Blood Services says winter disruptions can quickly shrink supply, making dedicated groups like this one especially valuable.
It's fantastic. We appreciate support from groups like that, and I think it's a great great way to give back to your community and have a little fun while you're doing it.
And the guys aren't done yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to 1,000. I want to hang in there to 1,000.
1,000 donations, 7 or 8 more years, plenty more burgers and beer, and a lot more lives helped along the way. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
A Manitoba physician has been named Canada's new top doctor. Dr. Joss Reimer replaces Teresa Tam as Canada Chief Public Health Officer. Dr. Tam retired in June. Reimer was the Chief Medical Officer for the Winnipeg Health Authority and was also a former president of the Canadian Medical Association. She'll step into the role in April.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, one of Canada's top dogs, not docs, but dogs, is from Moose Jaw. While he awaits a busy day of training, the 6-year-old named Tuck is skilled in a variety of different dog training obstacles. Tuck has earned the Grandmaster Hunter title and is a Grandmaster Obedience Trial champion, placing 4th in the country. He's won several awards along with his owner, Gary Overs.
When we're healing, he's looking at me and nothing else matters. Nothing else around him. Bombs could go off. You could drop toys. You could do whatever it is you want. And hey, buddy, hey. And he'll never take his eye off me. There's your ball. There's his ball. That's his very favorite toy right now. And that can change. But he'd run through a wall for that thing.
Gary and Shelley also run a dog obedience course, teaching more than 700 dogs a year. So, Jeff, we were just on the beer, burgers, and blood, and I wonder, is that ball the most important one, I guess?
Well, certainly it is to that dog, you know.
Like that.
But I do like the fact that the owners were saying, the favorite can change, because I've certainly seen that with dogs that I know.
Oh, absolutely. It's every day you got to pick a new favorite, and from their perspective, you're always their favorite, right?
Well, I don't want to push it.
Depends on the treats.
Yeah.
CTV National News is coming up next.